This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are going to call to order the June 7th, 2023 COA board meeting. It is 4:06. And I welcome everyone. And I'll take this moment to make a couple quick announcements. Donna was appointed last night by the select board to join us effective July 1st to replace those that are not replaceable, but she'll do her best, right, Donna? So welcome to the group.
Well, bless you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to also introduce our new select board liaison in case you don't recognize her, Chris Fowles. So welcome, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So that's both very positive moves. So now we need 2 more board members, just so you know. So keep your thinking cap on. All right, open time for the public. Lori Loisel, would you like to add your 2 cents during this moment?
I was on mute. 2 cents. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Lori, as our guest. Okay, approval of May minutes. We need to take a peek at them, or are we good? I think there was just one date, Jim, and I'm not saying that your error is not my error, but the date of the pickleball clinic was not May 18th. That's under old and new business, but June 1st. The $5 per person fee under new and old business for the pickleball clinic will be collected by Janet at the event on May 1st. Was the date of the event. I think I was collecting it before the event, but I don't know what I said that day, so that's fine. So is there any other comments or observations in the minutes? Can we have a motion to approve, please?
I move, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have to do a roll call vote. Jim? I need a verbal vote.
You're muted, Jim.
I need a voice.
There we go.
Okay.
Aye, yes.
Okay. Susan,
Yes.
Cynthia,
Yes.
Josie,
Yes.
and Janet, yes. Okay, so just for clarification, Donna was appointed for July 1st, so she's going to fill one of our 3-year terms. So if I don't call on Donna, it's because she's not effective until July 1st. So, but welcome.
Oh.
All
I've been
right.
on the board for 5 years and I've never been effective.
Touche, Jim.
Oh, we're going to miss those moments, Jim. Okay, I'm going to just share screen here to see, to take a look at some of our financial thingies. Let me just. The budget, where we are with the budget so far to date. But bear with me for a second. A quick review based on Bradley's most recent report. And it looks like we're keeping on schedule, Joan, so that's good. We're at 92% for your wages. Year to date, as of June 1st, we're on for the wages for the program coordinator. We're at 91%, so that we're tracking that nicely. Thank you. And expenses were at basically 88%. So we still have almost $150 to spend there. So on the Memory Cafe, the grant funded part of our budgets, we have been reimbursed $2,078. And I have another spreadsheet to kind of review that. Kelly from Highland Valley was kind enough to give us what they've sent and what we have requested to date. So I'll just go over that with the board so everybody can take a peek. Our local account, Joan, which is, I think, the revolving fund, we had 2680 in it. As of June 1st, we spent $912. So we have $1,768 left in that local fund if we need to tap into that for any reason. Okay. State formula grant, we're basically 80% of that spent as of June 1st. And I have another spreadsheet there to look at how we're going to track between, because June has some expenses in it that we want to make sure we manage within that budget. The good news is we don't have to spend it all like we used to have to do down to the penny. And if we don't need to buy something, we can carry that over into fiscal year 2024. The van, we're at 68%, and I don't know if we have any big trips coming up, Joan, or not. Nothing major.
Nothing that's major,
Okay, so we should.
but I don't know about repairs or anything. You never know between now and the end of the year.
Okay, but we should be at 68%. We should be comfortable with that. And then the ARPA funds for the outreach worker wages. Hopefully we will begin spending that down on July 10th. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So this is from the report we get from the town accountant. Any thoughts or comments anybody wants to share? And just feel free to speak.
Remind me, what's our fiscal year?
July 1 to June 30th. So we're in our last month of the fiscal year. Yes, good question. Okay, so let's go to take a peek at the state formula grant and where we are to date on that. And also our local expenses. So Joan and I sat down the other day, we had a balance of 19,195. So we have a remaining balance of 56, basically $5,681. The volunteer luncheon usually costs us about $1,000. Kate's salary, Sandy's salary, Megan, who is the tech support person on her Monday. We kind of average these out, what we think we'll spend from Megan. Angela, who does the mindful yoga and chair yoga, which I got to listen through and was lovely. My first time. We had a projected expense of $250 from MMA, and that was to put an ad in the Massachusetts Municipal Association, I think that stands for, to an ad for the COA director's position. My apologies for my spam risk ringing in the background. We had about the senior theater, right, Joan, is coming up when, or did we just?
We had it the 31st of May.
So we were projecting $125 for that. So we have a total forecast expenses for spam of our expenses of 3435 out of 568081. So we have about a balance of 224591. Do we have anything else, Joan, that you thought about since then that we might spend?
Well, I would like to get some supplies, some paper and things. So it could be another $200 for supplies.
Okay. All right. Nothing major that you can see coming that we didn't think about the other day.
Not that I can think of this moment.
Okay. And then we had the town expense that was at $48.80. And you talked about maybe purchasing a cabinet from that.
It already was purchased. It's a medical cabinet to keep our, we have just hand sanitizer and Band-Aids, first aid. And then if in the future, if there were EpiPens or something that was more, that needed a space, that's available for that. But I thought it was important because, the first aid things are just on the shelf. I just thought that we should have a place to keep them all together, and that's in the office.
How much was the cabinet?
$108.
Right here,
Oh.
Jim.
It's a metal.
Okay.
And I can
thought
send
that
it
was-
to you, Jim, if that helps. I mean, I did send it to you. I sent it to everybody already.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have the 108 written down, but I didn't hear
All
108.
right. Yeah.
So we could put medical cabinet versus cabinet, just so that
That's just for
for
you.
our first aid cabinet.
Good.
Any other questions on what we have left in our other kind of itemized budget areas? Nothing more? Okay, there. Okay. So we're going to stop share on this. And then we are going to go to the Memory Cafe, which is always informative for me. I'm coming. Hold on, hold on. Okay, so, basically, we get $166.50 every time we have, both, a consumer and a caregiver that comes to the cafe. So we've had a number of months where that's happened, and this is through April because May hasn't been submitted yet, Joan, or processed yet.
Correct. It needs to be by the 15th of the month, so I'll make sure I submit it. If not tomorrow, first of the week.
Okay, so that you had both caregivers
Yes,
and their partners, so we'll get another $166.50 there, so we get both, so in total, $166.50 for both individuals.
that
and then-
seems low to me. I don't know why, but I thought I have billed for higher amounts, but I'll double check on that myself.
Okay, I mean, she said if you had any questions or if it didn't look correct. So the admin, I guess I thought we would have processed more than that.
Yeah, I thought it was double that, but anyway, I'll
Is it
I'll look
$40
into
a
that
month or
tomorrow.
$80 a month for admin? So. Or maybe that's the total for,
no, that's the total for the
Oh.
whole
okay,
year.
so we've gotten halfway there. So if we can do a maybe.
So I
some-
could bill the other 40.
So that would be great. So we're still, so we have, in the consumer side, 916 left. We have in the caregiver side, 916. So it's good to see, I think, for our board members that we're getting reimbursed and we have more, we're reaching the population, even though there may be only 2 people in the population that we reach. We get the full reimbursement regardless. So, I mean, that's our goal, right?
Yeah, so actually it is 300 and it's 2 times 166.50.
It's
So
166.
it's, we get twice that
Mhm.
amount.
Right, it's here, 166 here and 166.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Okay,
all
so
right.
yeah, yep.
I got it.
So there, we have, basically have spent 2,000.
Yeah.
The 30, about halfway, but that looks good. So, I mean, it's hard to track in the town budget because they track it June to July and the grant
July
runs
to June, yeah.
October to September. So we, the sheets that we receive from Bradley reflect all of fiscal year 23, even though that's not how the grant is assigned. So it gets I think a little confusing in our reports. So we reach out to Highland Valley to confirm our dollar amount. So we know from October 1st to September 30th. Okay, any questions on any of those reports?
Just a quickie, so when the end of September comes, that's the end of this particular grant, and any money left over goes back to them?
That's true.
We don't get any money. We just don't ever get it. Yeah, and nothing goes back to them. So
Right. It doesn't get billed out.
It's a
Right.
reimbursable, yeah, okay.
Gets reimbursed.
But I will tell you that goes into an account so that anything that we've gotten from Highland Valley in the last 2 years went into this account, and I think we've only drawn from it maybe 3 or 4 times. So there is money there. Even though the money is going in, we don't always spend $333 a month on the memory cafe.
So I think, I don't know whether that would be Jen or somehow we have to figure out how much is in that account, maybe meet with Bradley, Joan, and find out what we have and how do we apply that and spend that if we're not spending the whole thing down, right? So, because they send us the money and we spend up front, we get reimbursed, but we get reimbursed regardless of how much we actually spend. So some months might be higher, some months might be lower. So, okay. Yeah, we don't want to leave money on the table for sure. So Joan, you want to kind of go over, you want me to bring up your
Report?
yeah.
Okay, I'll go over my part and Sandy's, and then I'll let Kate go over hers since she's with us, if that's okay.
She's
So-
allowed to speak. We let
So
her.
May was pretty busy month. We had we open 18 of the days. We had a couple holiday and election day, so we were closed those days, but we helped 22 people get 103 rides. So I think, again, our transportation is our number one service. We're fully staffed right now. We have a 3-day driver and a 2-day driver, and still looking for a backup driver. And actually, we had 2 calls. I thought they were going to pick up applications, but they never showed up. So I don't know. Anyway, we're, a lot of phone calls coming in, a lot of walk-ins, a lot of interest in activities. I'll go right to the bottom of the page where our Maya report, where we had that, what's happening at the council day, the Tuesday. We didn't have a lot of turnout for that, but it helped us to prepare what actually the Council on Aging does. We got some forms on services, and Kate did a bang up job on volunteers and all the different possibilities for that. So we got, a few new members and, a potential new staff member, a new volunteer and potential new staff member. So it was beneficial to have it. And I think it should be an annual thing. I would recommend it.
John, what's the date in July for the Memory Cafe?
So right now we have it, I believe it's, I was going to grab a calendar, whatever the third Wednesday is. It could be the 19th.
Kate, do you know?
Okay.
Does anybody have a calendar?
Yep.
Oh, I have one on my phone. I think it's July 19th, but we do have,
Okay.
it's part of the coffee hour. So instead of the lunch, it'll be a breakfast kind of thing. And then it would be,
The 18th, Thursday would be the 18th.
we're changing it to Wednesday.
Thursday.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday would be the 17th. Yeah.
No, Wednesday the 17th. Thank
no.
you.
Hello. No. Wednesday is July 19th.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
the
we're
19th.
talking July.
July.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, July. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you, though. I meant to grab a calendar. So yeah, what we do is we have music. I don't know if you've heard of the Hicks. They own the furniture store in Holyoke, the ones that work for cookies. Ed's furniture store. Anyway, he's a musician and a singer, and was in a lot of local theater. Peter Hicks and his wife Laura, and there'll be the music for that day.
So I guess we'll have to work out how that's going to be managed, since
I would like to be there that day as a volunteer. The part of the billing part will have to be learned by the new director or by someone in the office, but I'm glad to at least help facilitate the Memory Cafe.
Okay. I mean, we certainly talk about that. Good. All right. Go ahead. Sorry. Just quite.
No, that's good.
The correct date.
Yeah, we had Sarah the fiddler. She's the one that draws the most attention. I think this is her 3rd visit there, and we had, over 40 people. And it was a great turnout, a lot of good interaction, always. We had that container gardening group, which was another nice addition. And we had 14 in attendance, so we were happy with that.
I got some good feedback. Somebody that doesn't typically went to this, so that's always nice when you add
Yes,
an event
absolutely
that
good to see other people. And I think one of them won the raffle prize or whatever it was. I think it was the container gardening. So, and the Boston Duck Tour was very adventurous. We had a 3-hour delay. Our bus broke down at the restaurant parking lot. So they had to get us a new bus to get us to the duck tour, had to reschedule the duck tour till after 4, and then get another bus to bring us back to Southampton. So it was, everybody, was understandable, believe it or not. And we just did the best we can. We had a lot of waiting time, but it was worth the wait, and people enjoyed it very much. I think we had 35 total, and there's
Good.
4 more trips on the horizon in July, August, September, and October. So I'll also be volunteering for that as well.
Okay, and now we're in the process of submitting a PCF to hire Kate DeSanto as our outreach worker, which solves one problem and creates another, right, Kate? So she's been going through a lot of training. We require an associate's degree. She has a bachelor's. Kate, do you want to just share a little bit about what training you've taken to prepare for this position?
Sure. So I've done a number of trainings with MCOA so far. They are great with offering monthly trainings that are available through their website and their newsletter. I'm currently taking a disability and aging and elder care course through Boston University. It's a 3-course certificate program. And I've also been going through the SHINE program to get certified. So I'll be able to assist with Medicare and Medicaid type enrollments for the annual enrollments and any issues that may come up. I'm grateful that my classes are over. It was about 80 hours worth of classes, and I'm grateful to be back at the center my 2 days again. So my exam is in next week, and then our graduation and then continued training and mentoring opportunities are going to happen throughout the summer. So
You have to, so that was what I found interesting is you are required to mentor with a local outreach person.
yeah, it's kind of more of the experiential learning process, just putting what we know into practice and kind of just seeing how the gears work with all the different parts and pieces. And just trying to figure out how to formulate those conversations and navigate certain situations with some more seasoned counselors in the local area. So I'm getting matched up with someone from Life Path for a specific day up in Greenfield, and then we'll be working with someone at Noble Hospital in Westfield, and then also at another local senior center. So I'm excited.
No, that's great. Any
So are we.
for Kate?
Very valuable training, and just the timing couldn't be any better. I mean, we were thrilled to get the ARPA funds for the outreach person. We were thrilled to have Kate be such a valuable person to fill that role. So we are just over the top. The outreach person, we've been trying for many years to get that added to the Council on Aging. So it's exciting time.
And I think that we have a little over 2 years of funding, so it gives us some time to figure out how to fund it after that. So that we have a couple years to do that. So we'll work on that, Kate. So
Thank you.
good. All right, Joan, sorry, I just wanted to give.
No, that was good timing. Yeah, we're, of course, we are working on the other grant that Susan and Cynthia and Kate and Janet all helped, and Chris as well. And so that we have a interview Zoom on June 16th at 10:30 that to formalize the completion of that grant.
So Joan, could you, the mini group here, maybe we should get together sometime early next week to talk about creating some kind of outline to follow to explain the purpose of the grant, and between you and Susan and Cynthia. I know last time Kate Swistek-Rooks wrote up a great piece and kind of delivered it, but I think the creators are here in our group this time, so we may not have to impose on her to do that. So Cynthia and Susan, would you be available sometime next week?
Sure.
I have a tight week next week, but Monday's okay.
So let's shoot for Monday.
Okay.
And what? Go ahead,
Could
Jim.
you expand a little bit on what that's all about? I don't know what's involved for the minute.
Okay, so every 2 years we can try for a Title III grant from Highland Valley, and last 2 years were the Memory Cafe. And this year, the idea came up with something that was more inclusive for anyone that, might be home alone or home with being a caregiver. And it's about safety, nutrition. Again, I'll have to, do we share the grant? I forgot. Anyway, we'll make sure you get a copy of the
We're
grant.
gonna send it out, Joan, but I'm not sure that it went out. So
Okay.
if we could, so that
The committee formulated wrote a grant to Highland Valley to.
Yes, aging well in
accomplish
your community.
this.
So
Very good.
Jim,
Okay.
it replaces the Memory Cafe grant because you reapply every 2 years. So we thought Cynthia and Susan and Joan and Kate all had great ideas, as did Kate Swistek-Rooks. So we'll send that out to you. So this is to replace what was the Memory Cafe and maybe expand those that would qualify to participate. Dealing
Great.
with isolation. I don't know, Cynthia or Susan, do you want to add a couple words?
Cynthia, you want to take a stab at that?
Oh,
It was kind of Cynthia's brainchild a bit, so.
yeah.
Okay.
We're reaching out to people who are alone, and the idea is that caregivers in effect are alone in decision-making and responsibility. And so that what we want is to reach out to these people, have specific, I'm missing a tooth, so I'm going to list specific programs, but at the same time, building a sense of community. So it will be also groups that can meet by Zoom if they can't come in, but also people coming together and doing fun things like cooking, but actually learning nutritional stuff and cooking. We know that the church next door has a kitchen we can use, and we expect that we will be cooking things people can take with them. The other thing is the safety, having people come in to talk, look at houses, look at the situations to talk about safety. We talk specifically about choking, and we want money to get things for safety. For example, if people need the money to get grab bars installed, there are choking things that you can use. So if you are alone, you can deal with choking, which is a real problem among seniors and people with caregiving. So
That give you
anything else?
it's a broad view, but we'll send it out to everybody. Make sure again that it gets out to everybody. And
Sounds great, really
Yeah.
does.
so I
Yeah.
think the group listened to all the feedback from the board over the last 2 years and tried to come up with something that maybe would serve our community better. So let's look at Monday. Susan and Cynthia, what's your Monday look like?
I have a meeting from 11 to 12 in Northampton, so I'm free any other time.
Susan, what would you like?
Well,
Early or late?
anything's okay for me. So should we go earlier than that or later than that?
I'm okay going a little bit earlier and getting it addressed.
Done.
Okay?
Joan, are you okay with that? And Kate?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
Kate's not here
anytime
for
after,
Monday,
9 o'clock, 9:30, that would be fine. I mean, Monday mornings are just a little crazy getting in, but we have a new volunteer and we should be fine.
All right, so we go with 10,
9:30? Do we
9:30?
compromise?
Okay.
9:30 works for me.
Okay, and we're meeting at
At the
COA?
senior center and-
I mean-
yeah.
senior center.
I have to see if the room next door is available because we have a 10 o'clock general yoga.
I'm sure it is. So we
I
can
think the
probably-
Tai Chi is in the park, but
Okay.
the general yoga is there.
Okay, so probably we'll look more towards the select board room, okay?
Okay,
The first floor conference room. All right, so 9:30 on Monday, and we'll wrap up what we're gonna say on Thursday. And Chris, if you and anybody from the grant committee obviously wants to join us, we'll make sure you get the link. Okay,
and can I just ask one question? I'm curious for this, half an hour meeting that we get on the 16th, whatever the day is it better for one person to serve as a spokesperson? Is it better for us to look like a team? What's the?
probably one voice initially. They
Okay.
ask questions that different folks would have more strength with. I'm sorry, I see I have some chat things, so my apologies for, so Kate said she'd be happy to format the document and share the final grant submission. Thank you, Kate. Great, thank you. Sorry. I didn't see the chat.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll figure out who that best person would be on Monday, Susan, okay?
Good, okay.
Because they'll have a couple questions. It's not, we've been through it before 2 years ago and it'll go fine, so.
Some
And
people are
when
better
is when is the
speakers.
meeting?
What is the meeting is,
Presentation?
the presentation is at 10:30 on Friday. Joan, can you send the
It's-
link? to
It's an
everybody?
8x8 link. Yes, I'll send it out.
It's not a Zoom, it's called 8x8, but you just click on the link and get in, so.
Similar, yeah. As long as we get back to the report, does everybody get the message that Sandy did give her notice as well? And her last day will be the same as mine on the 29th of June.
Okay,
So, so we've already posted her position and there has been some interest. We posted, anyway, she's done a good job of working 2 days a week, getting the place open and closed, getting the newsletter out in a timely fashion, and all kinds of marketing things that she's very talented with. And I think she
she's done-
realized how much she missed being home and taking care of her home duties. She said, 2 days a week is a lot when
Yeah.
you're retired. So
So, and she has done a great job, and hopefully she'll come to your farewell and we can share
recognize her as well.
as well. So, but yeah, she's been a nice asset to the group. So sorry to see her go. But we have had someone express interest, and we've had someone apply for the 4 hours administrative assistant position who previously worked at the senior center, which would be a great 4 hours that would help whomever steps in. So, and takes a little small burden off of Kate. So, all right. So everybody saw Sandy's, and Kate, you want to just quickly go through yours?
Sure, I'll go over some highlights. The first part of my report is always just some of the meetings and programming opportunities I was able to attend. I greatly enjoyed attending the Friends Cinco de Mayo event beginning of May. That was a lot of fun, and it was nice to be able to see everybody and meet some new faces that I don't normally see on my 2 days in the office. The Triad teamed up with the Triad committee, and we were able to pick up, I believe it was 46 was it barrels of sand or buckets of sand for our seniors. And that was also a great opportunity. I was able to meet a few of the seniors as we picked them up, and tag teamed with Francine Tishman on that, which was fantastic. You don't realize how heavy those buckets are if the sand doesn't get used. But we're grateful to have them there. Like Joan said earlier, assisted with some of the open house materials for the volunteers. That we have rolling volunteer opportunities at the center, and I created a document that I believe is now posted on the front bulletin board area. Been working very heavily on the golf tournament that's upcoming Friday. I'm very excited about that. We have, not to take away any information, but we have 37 golfers signed up, and we have a number of raffles, and we received donations from a number of local organizations as well. So it should be a great time. It's a 9-hole golf outing. And I'm looking forward to playing a little bit once we get a little bit of a break in the morning. I already mentioned the Shine training. That's been a huge opportunity and learning experience this past month, and it's great to be back in the office for the 2 days. And there are I appreciate the outreach position and the opportunity to apply for that. There's a number of things that happen on a given month, including, say, the Stand for Seniors reach out. I've been helping with housing applications. I'm currently helping out with an issue related to fuel assistance and the reapplication process. So it'll be nice to actually be able to put this into practice and hopefully help a number of other individuals throughout the month.
Great.
And I think actually volunteer luncheon is next Friday, the 16th, and we're looking forward to honoring our volunteers of the year as well as our friend of the year award. So we have a good group coming, and there's close to 40 people. I hope all of you did receive the invitation. We emailed folks and also mailed them out to individual addresses. So I hope you're able to attend. If you have an RSVP, just shoot me an email or let Joan know, and we'll add you to the list for next week.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Okay, any questions from the director's report? Okay, perfect. All right, let me see what else I had on mine. So June highlights. So again, we have the outreach worker update. We gave that. June highlights, the golf outing, which is Friday. And I'm going to embarrass myself. So the cultural trip to Amherst College, I think Sylvia recommended a spot that's a freebie. So it doesn't cost the center any, but we do transport the folks there, and that's June 12th. And that's, what is the name of the place? Who remembers?
Well, it's Amherst College. It's a Bileski Museum, It's the dinosaur tracks is
And
what
how many people have signed up for
Oh,
that?
I think 6 or 7 we have already.
Okay. So that's next week, Cynthia. I
It's
heard
a Monday.
It's Monday, but you have a meeting at 9:30.
Well, it's not till 1 o'clock, so you
Okay.
could go if you, well, she has another meeting. Monday's a busy day.
From 12 to 1. Okay, and then the Memory Cafe is June 15th. The luncheon Kate mentioned and you mentioned as well. And then Jones Farewell, June 29th at Glendale Ridge Vineyard at 3:30. I was looking for a couple people that might volunteer to support Kate. Kate's been trying to get some things organized, and we have a couple board members that might work with Kate to kind of come to some final decisions. Don't be shy, folks. You're
So
still
you're just gonna show up and drink. What is this about organizing things?
so I would be happy to meet with Kate.
okay. It's just kind of filling in some blanks, I think, right, Kate? And I would be happy to meet with you as well. So,
Thank you. I know the Friends group is also having planning going on as well, so it'd be great to join up.
I apologize again for my bad hearing, but when is Jones?
The
June
party? It's
Yeah.
the 29th of June at 3:30
Uh,
And
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's in the agenda.
at Glendale
at
Ridge.
the Vineyard, yeah.
how long does it, I have something that day. How long does that go until?
Well, until we have to drive Joan home.
No.
Yeah, it's funny, but what do you think, like 6? I just,
Oh,
some
no,
ideas so I
I
know if I
don't
can
think
go.
it'll be that late.
Maybe an hour and
5:30,
a
I
half
would think.
or-
Five,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay, so thank you. If anybody else, just reach out to Kate we'll brainstorm a little bit more. I think things are moving along nicely. So,
Now, am I correct that the volunteer luncheon is at the senior center?
Yep,
Yes,
it's
it
at
is
the
at the
senior
senior
center.
center.
And that's it on the 16th, right?
at noon, Kate?
At noon.
On my
Yep, at
refrigerator.
noon. We're having lunch catered by Summit View, Hamels Catering in Holyoke.
Okay,
So
great.
And one more thing about Jones, I hate to say it, but farewell party. Is that open to everybody who wants to
Anybody that
go?
wants to, yeah, I mean, there's no charge. If people want to have a glass of wine, we'll probably have some light hors d'oeuvres or something. It's in the afternoon. So
Okay.
it's open to anybody that would like to have a little couple minutes at the mic to roast Joan.
Ah.
Or just a quiet conversation on the side is okay too.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to
Okay.
bring the microphone, Kate. So,
So my new name is, you're Jones leaving. So
Oh.
you're Jones leaving. That's
Yeah.
my new last name. Joan is leaving.
I'll be sure you all get a copy of the invitation as well. I can send that out this evening.
okay, great. Yeah,
Mhm.
that Kate, of which I'm surprised, I'm so sure everybody's surprised, created a very lovely invitation. So thank you, Kate. So,
Thank you.
um,
I wanted to go back to the memorial parade because many of you folks walked. I wanted to thank you. I think it was a wonderful representation. I know the Friends group did thank everyone, but I wanted to personally thank, for my final farewell walk in the parade, and it was a beautiful day. It was a nice event. I'm glad that people took time out to be part of the community and part of the town.
yeah, I think we had 10 to 12 folks walking.
At least
It was
I
a nice
I
day.
counted 15 or 16, but maybe
yeah.
that's my.
No, maybe, I probably didn't count myself or a couple other people. So.
Oh, right. And I counted Jesse. He walked, even though we held hands
course.
and you said, no holding hands.
I did.
That was the deal.
Yeah, that was great. No, we just, we shared carrying the banner. A small group carried it, and then after the cemetery, another group took over. So it was very nice. And we had the couple who remind me, Joan, their names.
Mike and Susan Dubelo.
Yeah,
Oh.
so Susan's in a wheelchair, and they called Francine because she had sent out an email and said, is it okay if we're in a wheelchair? Can we still come? And said, absolutely. So Mike was very strong at pushing her the entire time, especially up that last hill. And it was very nice of them to come. And we gave some folks rides back to the Norris School afterwards. as did Mary and Bill. So it worked out well, so.
And Susan Seabolt walked Cindy Palmer all the way to her house, then walked all the way back to her house, which I guess is on the other side of town. So you must have been walking for hours.
Yeah, I could have been home cleaning the house, but no.
Yeah, that was your
You
motivation.
made the right choice.
Okay, Susan, Friends update. You have anything we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, I think a few things. Sorry. The first thing, I'll just tell you what Friends has right now. They're really rich. So they have $18,253 dollars. Several, I think, thousand really were donations in Andrea's memory. But so, things look really good at the moment. I know we didn't do that well for the luncheon because the food cost basically what
It costs more than the entrance fee.
yes. Yeah, but
But we needed to have another luncheon and
yes, exactly. And I think we could do a little better with our target then.
Yeah.
But I think that the other interesting thing to know is Francine, I'm sure you already know this, Janet, had a meeting with the Massachusetts Council on Aging, and they have a service where they can set up a website for any of the Council on Aging programs. It costs something like, I think it's $320 a year. But it'd be a really great way for our COA to have a presence. So a bunch of us are going to look at that, what the MCOA group has to offer. It's a private service, and we'll move forward with that. But that looks very promising.
And it would be for Friends of the COA.
Yes, for Friends of the COA.
they need a website. That it would be helpful for them to have a website.
Yeah. Anyway, everything else I feel like we have covered.
So Susan and I have received emails from the tech committee for the COA board login to our town website. Susan and I will get together, and so we don't create a couple different, I don't know if it's one password per person for her and I, or
Okay. I just saw it come in, Janet, but to be honest, I haven't done anything more than see it come in.
Yeah, so I don't know
Right.
whether we're setting up two different logins for the passwords for the same site. So I guess I need to get clarification on that.
Well,
So,
I think Sandy had come in and trained
yeah,
for this.
I'm talking about the board, Chris. So I got an
Right.
email for the COA board.
Yeah, and then Susan had come in and trained on that. So they may be combining just the same link, but a different password, or I'm not sure. They might have had to combine accounts given the number of seats we had available to be editors.
But
on
I
the
don't know
website.
that the COA, the senior center has received the link or not. I'm only talking about the one that was for the COA board. Joan, do you know? if
No,
you
well,
get-
I haven't worked with it, but Megan was in on Monday and working with Sandy about putting our newsletter up. Is it live yet, Chris?
We're going to go live probably around the 15th or the 16th of June.
Okay.
Okay,
So
did
now's
you-
the time for people to work on their pages. Yeah.
So Joan, have you? And
I
Sam-
have not used it. I went to the training. I have not used it. I don't have a password yet. I'll work with Sandy because she won't be here after
Right,
Right.
the end of June either.
so you may need to get.
I'll
Kate-
see her tomorrow.
Get Kate a little bit involved, just so we have somebody that has the password.
I did take all the, what we got that and gave it to Kate, but she has had other things
Yeah.
that took priority. So, but we'll work on that before I leave.
Yeah, we don't want it. As long as somebody has the password before you leave, and we can kind of tap Megan when she comes in on a Monday too sometimes. So we'll take advantage of that. Because yeah, Susan was trained, I was not. Joan and Sandy were trained, they're both leaving. So we have to, so once it goes live on the 15th, I guess we need to make sure we have our data up there before that time, right? So.
And I know-
Megan's available, but her classes end in June and then we'll restart probably in the fall, but
Well, we got to get, it's, according to Chris, it sounds like it needs to be updated
Right.
by the 15th to go live.
Right, so she's here Monday,
Okay.
Mhm.
And what time is she in on Mondays?
1:30 to 3 or so,
All right.
depending
And
on how many customers she has.
so will she be on, she'll be in on the 19th? And
No,
then,
the 19th is Juneteenth. The town hall is closed.
Closed, yeah.
all right.
So
And then by
Sandy's
then we're
working-
already, okay.
So Susan,
Right.
you and I will get together, and Joan, if Sandy starts inputting stuff on her days, for the senior center, and then we have to do our stuff for the board, so.
And I wonder if we should just like, since I only did that training once and now I forgot it all. I wonder if I should since Megan will be there at 1:30 on Monday, she would just be a good person to go over things with.
Does she have people signed up for class?
I want to say she has at least one signed up, but I'm sure there's a slot we could get you. She'll stay, and maybe Sandy and I can sit in on it, or we'll figure out what we need to do.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
happy to sit in on it too, if it's something that works out with schedules.
And there's all written instructions, step by step, were given out too. So if you still have that, that'll be your.
I do
cheat
have
sheet.
that. Yep.
I
Okay.
have that, and I have a copy for Kate, so.
Can you send me a
Now,
copy?
would it be,
I don't have that, so can someone send me a copy of that?
I'll take a picture of it. If I take a picture of it, Janet, or how do you want me to send it to you?
Maybe when I see you on Monday, we'll make a copy.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna put that in my date book.
Good.
would it be fair to refer to this as a town website?
Yeah,
Will be activated on June 15th,
The
on
tar-
which the various boards and groups can
And
make
departments,
postings.
yeah, departments, Jim, are the key, too.
Good.
Okay, excellent. All right, so just a kind of a look at what our senior center will look at come July 1st. So we are, I've had a discussion with Ed Gibson, who is the town administrator, and we are going to close the first week of July. So we will not have vans. We will not have any deliveries for medical. The center will be closed. It's possible we might have somebody starting by then, but he always says I'm a little optimistic. So, but that person could then take that week and sort of get familiar with the office. But I know Kate's on vacation. Sandy's gone, Joan is gone. We may have a new admin, but I don't know, by the time it gets through the paperwork, that's probably not going to happen by July 1st. Things don't happen that quickly. So just to make a note that we will not be offering classes or anything the week of July 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, we've already notified the classes, or we are, it's ongoing.
Yeah, okay, and to make sure that the van, folks that use the van are aware. Okay, and so we're talking about vacancies, so come July 3rd, or let me say June 30th.
Before you leave that, for how long is the center going to be closed?
The week
1
of
week,
July
Just
3rd.
for 1 week?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
and one is the holiday, so it's 3 days. Monday, the holidays, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, so we have openings for the COA director, we have openings for the program coordinator, we have an opening for the volunteer coordinator that Joan is gonna put a PRF submitted in soon,
Yes.
and an admin assistant. So we have to kind of look at that. So I want to give you a quick update on the COA director search committee. We had interviewed, about 6 people respond. We've narrowed it down to our top 3 choices. We have submitted those names to the town administrator, who will be scheduling interviews with those 3 candidates, hopefully in the next week. And with a member from the select board, so the 2 people will do the interview process, and hopefully have a recommendation to present from Ed to the select board on June 20th. So I don't know how many of you know how many positions have been open in our town for so long, that we are so lucky to have 3 very intelligent individuals that are interested in working with our seniors in town. So I'm very thankful. So hopefully that works its way out, and we are actually in the business in July. So the program coordinator, again, that's been posted, right, Joan? The volunteer coordinator
Yes,
has not been, the admin has been posted.
yes.
And where are they the program coordinator and the admin, where were they posted?
So internally plus I want to say MCOA, the website, they're definitely on the website. And MCOA, I believe. I didn't get it to RSVP.
Can you confirm that it's on MCOA too?
I will.
So I do think we, as Joan mentioned, that during our what's happening at the Council on Aging Day, my brainstorm. So we didn't have a lot of quantity, but we had some good quality. So a couple of folks that had not really come to the center before came to the mindfulness chair yoga. So, and then an individual came in whose mother just moved in with her. So she's looking for something to do during the day. And so she may be applying for that, but she is volunteering right now at our reception desk, which has been great. So we have a new volunteer in town. So that's terrific. I don't know her qualifications. I think has pulled a application and will give us a resume and a cover letter, hopefully in the near term. So we may be in pretty good shape. And again, I am an optimist. So, but we will keep everybody posted on that in case we need somebody to come in and greet people or whatever. We'll be tapping maybe some of our volunteers here on this group and on the Friends group to make sure we have good coverage so we don't lose more than this 1 week. Any thoughts on that or questions on that? So that was my director search committee update. So it was a great committee, nice people that were on it, and we really very lucky to have, I think, the quality of people reach out to us. So,
Great.
okay. Feasibility study update. So no news is good news, I guess. I do know that, the lawyer, as I think we mentioned at the last meeting, had to send out assent forms to all those charities or nonprofits that money was being given to, and she's gotten only 6 out of 9 back. So she has to do some more legwork to try to get those other 3 in. She's working, as we mentioned last time, with the Attorney General's office. So we'll keep you posted. So we knew it wasn't going to happen fast, but hopefully we'll get, by the time we meet at our next meeting, probably in August, we'll have a good understanding of where we stand.
I'm curious and maybe a little confused. What was that last bit? The charities that you're reaching out to?
I'm not.
Or somebody is?
The attorney for the will is reaching out. They require for the distribute monies, they have to get assent forms for, I think, the charities that were listed as beneficiaries, and get those assent forms signed and returned to the lawyer.
So they are ascending that there were that the money would be going to the COA and not to them. Is that what that is?
No. They all have money associated to them. If we're talking about just the beneficiaries, not the secondary beneficiaries. So all beneficiaries just need to agree and sign and return the form to the lawyer. They're not agreeing, they're agreeing to what they're getting, not agreeing to what, the COA. It has nothing to do, all of them has nothing to do with the COA.
Oh,
Except that we're one of those 9 groups. That's all.
Did Ed sign ours and return it? Do you know?
Of course, I know.
Of
course he did. I think I might have driven it to the post office. So. All right. So ours is in. We're one of the 6 that they have received. Okay. So we'll give you an update as soon as we have one. Okay. So we usually have a select board report. I didn't put it on this month because I didn't know if we were going to have a select board member here, but I don't know, Chris, if you have anything to share with the group or what's new with the select board or anything we should know about?
No, not yet. I think we're just getting organized. As people know, we have 2 new members on the select board. So both Rini and Francine have taken their leave. And we have 2 new persons elected on, Dan LaValle and Stephen Johnson. And so last night we spent time just reorganizing ourselves in terms of our committee assignments, in terms of liaisons and so forth. And that's how I ended up here. And then, yeah, pretty much just going to get going on all sorts of business that we got to get through for the end of the fiscal year. And then just, I guess you may or may not know, Ed Gibson is on with us just for about another 6 months or so. He's going to be taking his retirement at the end of December. So we'll be doing a search for a new town administrator as well, a new fire chief. We got lots of personnel we'll be recruiting for this year.
I did not know that, so thank you for sharing that.
Okay, any questions for Chris?
Yep. For all of us, summer is coming. We have had these terribly hot times, that I wondered what the town does and how we all coordinate in terms of providing heat relief places for people to go.
Mhm. At this point, as far as I know, we don't have any formal cooling stations in town. The church was sort of a possible one, but I don't know that ever has been used. Has it, Josie? I don't know.
Well, all right, you're talking 2 different things. We've got for heat, the church does now have a generator, and can provide some heat for people in the
Okay.
wintertime. In the summertime, we don't have, we must have some level of air conditioning, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't have a formal program of any sort, Cynthia, to my knowledge, at this point in time.
Yeah.
I would say when the center is open, I mean, people can come to the center. Do we have air conditioning there? But it's at limited hours.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's getting worse every summer. And I think we need to be thinking about that. And where people can go, how we advertise it, what we do with them when they come.
Yeah, I
For
think
safety.
I think it's a bigger issue in terms of something that would probably have to be designed as a grant application to put in some money to either make something at the school or something at the church or some other place. School would be probably another alternative, and again, they're closed during the summer, so that gives us more room perhaps there. But I mean, we'd have to be able to figure out what rooms would be needed and how would we pay for all of this? How would we put in if people had to have food or just places to sit and whatever, have a nap, whatever, cool down. I mean, all of that would have to be part, I would think, of a bigger program design that needs a bigger conversation to figure out how to do that, which I don't know if that's ever happened. I'm not aware of it in my time
Are
on
the
the select board.
schools air conditioned?
I don't
No,
think.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either.
Okay.
No.
This was a topic of conversation at our last triad meeting. And I do know that the chief did speak to this. I'm happy to reach out to them to kind of see what I
Yeah.
don't have my notes in front of me to just discuss what we had talked about, but I'm happy to reach out and see if there's a plan. We did talk about the senior reassurance program being a part of that, checking in on folks and seeing if they needed anything during the summer. So I'm happy to work with Joan and follow up on that.
Great.
And this is why we need a new senior center, so we have a nice cooling center during these times of year for whomever in town needs that. So
Okay, I'm just raising it because I think we need to think about it, because climate change is here. It's getting warmer and hotter, and of course, these couple of days now, we're very aware of a smoke emergence. So anyhow.
yeah, no, it's a good comment, Cynthia. Thank you. Anybody else have anything to? I'm not putting Chris on the hot spot. That's not my intention. So All right, so I just, before we conclude, I do want to personally thank Jim and Josie for your dedication and your commitment to the seniors and the older adults in our community. I know you both will continue to serve in one shape or form. I know Josie's very active at the church.
Mhm.
And Jim, I know you will not disappear from, you'll pull a Lori Loisel and come back and visit occasionally, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
this is Josie and I have been on committees since I moved to town, I think. Either that or the community chorus, and
Yeah,
so
How long has that been,
thank
Jim?
you. About 20 years.
Wow.
Good for
Wow.
you.
Yeah,
it's hard to track.
yeah.
It's a big blur, actually, in many ways.
Even before that mountain stood behind her. It's going way back.
it's grown a lot since she started serving on. board.
Yeah, I remember we planted stones and they've grown nicely.
Again, we will miss you next month and, you
Well,
know,
thank you. I mean, very much. It's been
Okay.
interesting
interesting.
and fun and I've enjoyed it. It's very nice.
and I haven't received your replacements, volunteer applications yet, so please remind them, because that's the commitment, right? You get your replacement so you can leave, no?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you don't hold your breath. So Jim, I hope you're going to the parties coming up.
Yeah, I'll be at the parties. Yeah.
Okay.
You never miss.
Maybe
a
we could
party.
set up a time to get together for coffee or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It
Good.
will be very different not having you with us, because I've served
Yeah.
on a number of the same committees that with Jim and Josie.
Yeah,
Well, we've been connected at the hip for a number of years. Not 20, because I've only been here 15, but for a number of years, maybe 10 of those 20. So
probably.
again, we thank you for your commitment over time.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't 20. 20 years is how long I've been retired. So
Oh.
it's been, I don't know. I can't remember when I bought 2009. I think we bought this house.
Okay.
So
But anyway,
close.
thank you both very much. We will miss you, and you're welcome to join us anytime.
Good.
That's
Thank you.
good. Yeah.
So I'd like to look at our schedules, and I'm hoping that we can maybe recruit a couple new members before then. And again, thank you to Donna and Cynthia and Susan. Those are all new faces. And I think you know, a changing and revolving board is a healthy thing, because everybody comes in with fresh ideas. So my time is coming. So so anyway, the July, we don't usually meet in July, and since we're going to be closed that week, and maybe we should give, if we do have a new director, some time to get settled in. So I would like to propose our next meeting, not August 2nd, because I will be in Cape Cod, but maybe August 9th, if that's possible. Is anybody else going to be away on vacation? My 1 week of vacation a year.
That
Is
works
that-
for me.
And I would like to propose an in-person meeting.
Oh, so fun.
I just realized I haven't run an in-person. Zoom's kind of easy to run meetings on. In-person's a whole new animal, you know, we've
I'm
had.
taking that personally now, you know, because I won't be there.
No, not at all. So is anybody, I'd like to make a motion to meet at 4 o'clock on August 9th at the second floor conference room at Town Hall. Does that work for everybody?
Oh, okay.
Okay. I will reserve the room. And if everybody.
Can you record there?
We can record there, yes.
Okay,
So I made the motion. Do we have a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. All in favor? Roll call vote. Jim,
Yes.
Susan,
Yes.
Cynthia,
Yes.
Josie,
Yes.
Janet, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. And one last motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Oh, Josie. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, and your first and second, last motion of your career on the board. So let's
Yes.
go through. Jim. Now we have a roll.
Aye.
Susan,
Yes.
Cynthia. Cynthia. Did I lose you, Cynthia?
Oh,
And I,
I'm not muted.
okay, no, now you come through. And Josie?
Aye.
And Janet, I. Everybody have a great summer. Enjoy your month. Good luck to everybody. Joan, we will see you probably a lot, but definitely on the 29th, right? So
Yep.
see everybody
Yeah.
then.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.